Welcome to H2O Croutons.
I'm Alexis.
And I'm Jennifer. Together, we're mother
and daughter co-host. Think Gen Z
meets Gen X and let the games begin. We're here to add a little crunch to your day with real talk on everything from A to Z.
From pop culture and the latest news to deep dives in topics that you didn't even know you cared about, we've got you covered.
So, grab a drink, get cozy, and let's dive in. This is H2O Croutons. Hey everybody, this is H2O Croutons. This is Jennifer.
And Lexi.
We're sitting here with my mother and...
my grandmother.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Lex.
We're going to be interviewing her, and we're going to ask her some fun questions.
Oh, yay.
She doesn't want to do this. She's doing it because she loves us so much.
I'm doing it under duress.
We're holding her hostage till she does. Just kidding. She's all the way in Florida. Anyway, we'll be right back after this, and we're going to get started.
Does anyone else have that one podcast recommendation? When you're yearning for genuine connection, the podcast recommendation is perfect with the Soul Connection podcast. That's where H2O Croutons comes in. It's like eavesdropping on the coolest Gen X mom and her Gen Z daughter. They chat, argue, and laugh about everything you think you shouldn't talk about. It's fresh, it's fun, and never boring. Tune in and trust me, you'll be hooked.
Mom, are you ready?
Of course.
We're going to be taking some turns here, asking you some questions, so everybody gets airtime.
And I have no knowledge of these questions beforehand.
None. So she's on the spot. Good thing I can edit out the pauses. All right, so we're going to start with childhood and family life. Fun question. What's a smell or sound that instantly brings you back to your childhood?
Fried food.
Fried food. That sounds about right.
Your grandmother, my mother, your great-grandmother, your grandmother, and my mother used to fry everything. Pork chops, chicken, it didn't matter. If it could be fried, it was fried. And I just remember the smell of grease all the time.
That's funny. I actually remember Mom telling me about like a bucket of lard or something.
That was your great.
Yes, and she had that all the way. Yeah, she had that all the way up until until she moved to the nursing home.
That's funny.
And it was full of lard.
Oh my gosh.
She made biscuits out of it every freaking morning. Literally.
Yeah.
So funny. So the second question is, what did your parents do that you secretly loved but never told them?
Secretly loved. Probably would be their making us go to church. My dad was a pastor, and before he was a pastor of a Baptist church, we attended one very, very, very regularly. Like Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, Tuesday night prayer meeting, Wednesday night something else. We were always doing things at church, which at the time I probably was not happy with and was stubborn about going. Like I'd always say, I can't go Sunday night, I have to do my homework. And Dad would say, you can do your homework when you come home from church. Probably made me a better person by having to go all those times.
You know what's funny? He used to make me go every Sunday morning when I would stay with him.
Yep.
And
it was like, if you were there, get up and go. You're going.
I did not. I was never a morning person. So he would try every Sunday. He would come into the bedroom and he would try everything he could. They had poured water on me, ice cold water. They pulled the mattress out from underneath me. I mean, It became a fun game for me. At some points, I just faked it to see what they would do. All right. So last question on this one. Did you ever get into trouble for something that you didn't do?
I had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. Yes. It was always, Sandy did it. Yeah, always. Now, can I remember specifically? No, because there were so many. Because it didn't matter. Dad would come in and say, who did this? And they would all just point to me.
That is too funny.
And if they're hearing this, well, no.
She's echoing through the mic. It's funny, though.
Oh.
So if you hear an echo, it's because I have to do this over the phone because my podcast host is not allowing her to use it. All right, so let's move on to a couple fun questions. What's
Fine
some
on your end or mine?
yours? What's something that you've done this year that people half your age would dare to try?
This year?
Hmm.
Oof. It's been a pretty tame year because I just turned a big age, so I have spent most of this year planning my big party.
How about in the last year? I'll make it easier.
Well, I'm going to branch it out a little bit farther than a year and say when I went ziplining in Maui.
I knew that's what you were going to go with. I could just feel it.
She got reminded of that recently.
Yeah, because it was something I never planned to do. And in fact, we hadn't even thought about doing it, never thought about it in my life. And we won a ziplining trip for one. So my husband was going to do it. And when I went there, they're like, why aren't you doing it? And I said, oh, because he got a free one. And they're like, no, go ahead. You can go with him. I'm like, no, that's okay. And it was literally climbing trees, like a ladder, like a step, like 2 pieces of wood made steps going up this tree. Then you had to pull yourself up on the platform, get zipped in, zip down a line, going faster than you ever thought you were going to go over tops of trees, palm trees and ponds and
Fly like an eagle.
Yeah.
Through the trees.
There were some awkward times as well because they sometimes had to push you like off the platform to get your momentum to get you going. So it was scary and I'll never do it again, but it was something to do in your late ages of life.
Like how you stopped and I'm not going to say that age.
All right.
She doesn't look her age. I will say that much. You would be really surprised.
What is your secret to outlasting everyone at family gatherings?
You mean like my age or because I can party harder than anybody else?
I think your brothers might disagree with you.
Oh, they might. Remember the next morning.
Shots fired.
The word fireball and they know exactly what I was talking about.
Oh, I feel like there's a story behind that from your birthday party. All right, Lexi, go ahead and ask that last one on that section.
What is a trend you swore you'd never try, but secretly love now?
A trend?
Yeah.
Oh, a trend I never thought I would see. Probably. Gosh, that's a tough one. There are a lot of trends in my life.
Okay, one thing I did not say at the beginning of this, I was going to. I'm going to give you 3 passes. So if any time it's something's like too hard, you just say pass and we'll move on.
Okay, let's pass on that.
I figured you would.
I don't really know.
Okay, so.
That's one.
That's one.
Okay.
You have 2 passes left.
I'll save them.
All right. What's an old person thing that you refuse to do no matter what?
I refuse to dress like an old person. Even though some may consider me to be an old person since I am a grandma and I live in Florida in a 55 plus community, I refuse to act like an old person.
All right.
I refuse to dress like an old person. I am right now dressed in a master's golf shirt and I'm getting ready to go play 9 holes on an executive course with about 20 other people and coming back and getting ready to go dancing at the squares tonight. And then tomorrow I'm leaving to go to the Hollywood casino for the next 4 days. And I just refuse to sit around and sit in a rocking chair.
So no moo-moos.
No moo-moos. No granny shoes. I'm still wearing my flip-flops.
Okay. Gosh darn it. I was going to get her one.
Oh, goodness.
All right. So Lexi's going to ask you the next one.
Okay, Lex.
And then we're going to...
If you could time travel and challenge your 30-year-old self to a competition, what would it be and who would win?
My 30-year-old self. Okay, let me transport myself back that many years. I would probably...
You had a 12-year-old daughter.
I probably would really get into golf. Like right now, I golf for fun and just kind of social things. I'm not really serious, but if I make a hole in one, which I did do, get
I knew
really
that was coming.
excited. If I hit a 6 on the same hole, it's fine. I don't really care. I'm not competitive, but I think it would have been fun had I been competitive and really gotten into some serious golf. I think I would have been good had I done that many years ago.
Well, who would have won between you and your 30-year-old self if you would have gotten involved in golf?
Who would have won, me or my 30-year-old self?
Yeah, if you were
Me.
like...
Duh.
Me. That's not even a question, right?
All right, so we are going to go on break. We will be right back with some more fun questions.
Yay.
With Mom.
A candid Gen X mom collide with the fresh insights of her Gen Z daughter, creating lively discussions on a wide array of topics. This dynamic podcast offers an entertaining exploration of generational differences, making conversations both relevant and relatable for listeners. This is the People's Podcast, so leave a comment, give us a call, send us a text or message, and sign up for our free monthly newsletter. Join our community where everyone has a voice. I'll see you there.
All right, welcome back to Fun Time Interviews with my mom. Hi, Mom. We're back. Are you ready for... Are you ready for round 2?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a couple serious, not serious, but just like less fun, but more... They're fun, interesting, but not witty, fun, sparky fun.
Okay, let me be the judge of that.
What was a dream you had in your 20s that you never pursued, and why?
Going to college.
I agree with that. I didn't do that till I was 30.
Yeah, I didn't go, and I graduated from high school, worked part-time while I was in high school, and then just continued with that office staff administrative type duties through my whole life. And I really regret, one of my jobs was working at a hospital, and I worked for the administrator as his assistant, and I was so interested in medicine and medical and stuff that he said, I will actually pay for your nursing school if you will go and then come and be a nurse at our hospital. Commit to do that. And I said no to that one. And I'm going to blame it on you, Jennifer, just because you were a kid at the time, and I couldn't imagine going to work full time, going to school full time, and still trying to raise you. So, but there were other things too. But I kind of felt like I was never really smart enough to take somebody's life in my hand. That made me nervous.
Have you seen some of the doctors out there, Mom?
I have now, and that's why I regret it.
Well, I just want to say, you said you're going to blame me, and I know you said that jokingly, but your granddaughter went, wow. She thought you might be serious. She wasn't sure.
Oh.
All right, so.
No.
Who was your first real heartbreak, and what did it teach you?
Was probably a guy in my 8th grade class. His name was Wolfgang. He was just way out of my league, but I worshipped him from afar. We never really connected as a boyfriend and girlfriend, but I had the hugest crush on him, and he chose Gail Smith over me.
Gosh darn it, Gail, what were you thinking? If you're listening to this, Gail, we need to have words.
Yeah.
Was there a moment in your life where everything changed for you, even if it didn't look dramatic on the outside?
Probably when I became a mother. I mean, I was 18 years old. I was a kid. And then all of a sudden I had a daughter, and I had a marriage that was failing. And so I became a single mother with a lot of responsibility. And it's frightening when you're 18 years old. It's frightening when you're 25 or 30 years old, but it's really frightening when you're still a kid yourself.
What is a trend or fashion that you loved that makes you laugh now?
Probably the short skirts that we used to wear. We used to wear skirts and dresses so short
We
that
wear short skirts. Sorry.
you could not bend over, and there were no such thing as skirts where there were shorts underneath it.
You know what?
In
I
fact,
heard
they
of
were so
those.
short you couldn't wear shorts underneath them.
That must be why Lexi likes them like that.
Oh, good lord.
I mean, we are talking right below your butt cheeks. I mean, and the Baptist minister father.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. I was just getting ready to ask you, how did Pop deal with that?
Of course, we had a regular skirt that when we got to school, I got out of the house and we would just roll up until it became as short as we wanted it to be.
Oh my gosh.
And that brings me back to, this is like, some of the people listening to this won't even have a clue what I'm talking about, but when we would also go to school, when we changed for gym, we had to put on this gym uniform, PE, that's what it's called now, but we called it gym in my day. And it was like a blue, royal blue one-piece romper that snapped up the front. It was shorts and a short sleeve.
I have visions of Grease in my head.
Oh, probably. It's like the most ridiculous thing ever. We had to wear those. So, there were 30 or 40 of us in blue rompers out there doing exercise. That makes me laugh.
If you could be any age again for 1 week, which would you choose and what would you do?
Oh, boy. For 1 week, huh?
1 week.
I'm going to take a pass on that one, Jennifer.
All right, pass it is. So I could ask you
Yay,
one that's
pass
not
over to
as
you.
fun. You should think on that one. I'm curious. You should tell me. What's one belief you've completely changed your mind about over the years?
A belief?
A belief.
Well, I could go back to religion because, as I said, Dad forced us, basically, like, you're going to go or else you're going to get your butt kicked. So we went begrudgingly to church. And, I would sit there in church and we didn't have cell phones, but I would sit there in church and, doodle or do something rather than pay attention. And now my belief in God is much different and greater than it was even when I was being made to believe in it. Now I have a choice whether to believe in it, and I do. So that's probably a stronger belief now.
I can relate to that because I used to think I would go for fun time. Like, because we had Bible school with Sue Hughes and still friends with that family.
Yeah.
And then we would go to adult church after that. Me and Jeff, my mom has a younger brother that's only 3 years older than me. And we would sit in the back with, I think his name was Wayne.
Yep.
Wayne and Max and Cheryl and wow.
Yep.
Wow. There's names from the past. But we would sit in the back row, and when I would misbehave, my grandmother would make me go up and sit next to her. And that woman, I love and miss her, but she could not sing with a lick. And I'm telling you,
I can see that.
She made a joyful noise into the Lord.
She would wake the dead. She was trying to resurrect Jesus, I'm convinced.
If you could relive 1 year of your life, not to change it, but to enjoy it again, what year would it be?
Not to change it, but to relive it because it was good.
Yeah.
Not to relive it so I could change it. Okay. Probably would be, probably would be the first year that we had our big boat down at Lake of the Ozarks. It was a nice big boat that was comfortable and air conditioned and had cooking facilities on it and 2 big bedrooms, and it had such fun times. It was probably in the early 90s that we got the Royal Flush. That's what I'm talking about. And
I missed that.
We got it because I won a Royal Flush at the casino the night before that and was able to have $1,000 cash down payment on me, so it was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
I thought at first you were talking about the Imperial. And I'm like,
No.
oh my God.
I had one spacious bedroom as us too.
Right? And we had to sleep. My stepbrother and I would sleep on these folded out seats with these and sleeping bags with spiders over our head from the dock. And I'll tell a quick story really quick. The quick story really quick, which is really redundant. But I one night was just like tired of sleeping on the boat. And I decided I'm going to go sleep in the back seat of my stepdad's Riviera.
Yeah.
Windows down.
Yep.
And so I can.
Because it was summer and it was hot.
Yeah. And that was my choice. My mom thought it was a stupid idea. My mom was right. Because in the middle of the night, I'm hearing some rustling noises. And I'm like, what is going on? And I look up and there's this person's elbow leaning on the passenger side of the car. He's trying to steal the car phone because that needs to be attached by Velcro. And I got like, oh no, I had an attitude even then. I was like, oh no, you're not. And I kicked that thing so hard that it knocked.
Was actually a bag phone.
Okay, that's right. But he was trying hard. And I kicked it so hard that it hit his head on the windshield. It scared the hell out of him. And he took off running.
Running your back down to the boat too, didn't you?
Yep, I did. When it was done, I'm like, I'm not sleeping in that car ever again.
I would sleep on my phone seat again.
That was the night I learned that I had fight or flight, and it was definitely fight.
And then flight.
And then fight. That's right. Save the fight.
Yeah.
I got to go all out.
I miss her.
I don't know. I do too. A lot.
Although every time I come home, I still felt like I was sleeping on a boat because I felt like I was rocking in my sleep for like a week after.
Yep, you had to get your sea legs.
Yeah.
And then you had to get used to not having sea legs.
It was so fun. I grew up down there and at the lake, and it was so fun. Great
There
memories.
were lots of good memories down there.
Yes. I think that's because we were all just so relaxed.
I remember one time we were down there on vacation, and we'd spent a whole week, and that was on the Imperial, and there were some people that were next to us, and they said, how much longer are you guys going to be down here? And we both looked at our bottle of vodka, and it was almost empty, and said, probably just one more day. That's how we gauged it.
All right. We're going to go take a break. We're going to come back. We just have a few more, and then you are off the hook.
Yay.
Oh, come on. It wasn't that bad. We'll be right back.
Come join our website at www.h2ocroutonspodcast.com to keep up on all the latest. If you want to hear our new episodes a few days earlier and get exclusive access to members-only benefits, join our Patreon. For just $5 a month, you will get exclusive members-only benefits. After 3 months, we'll send you an H2O Croutons official sticker. You can also join our free mailing list to be notified of contests, upcoming episodes, and more. Please show your support by following us on our socials. Just search H2O Croutons on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and more. To add us on Discord, search for h2o.croutons.podcast, all lowercase, and add us. If you have a question, need advice, or want to share your thoughts on any topic we discuss in our episodes, simply send us an email at h2oquestion@gmail.com. Or you can call or leave us a text at 1-786-505-2194. Again, that is 1-786-505-2194. H2O Croutons is syndicated on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, SiriusXM, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and more. Please make sure you like, follow, and review on your favorite platform. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. Stay crunchy!
We're going to start this last segment with a few more questions, and then she is off the hook and ready to go. She has a golf game, guys. Gotta hurry. Speaking of games, if there was an Olympics for grandmas, what would you win the gold in?
For grandmas, no, there actually is the Senior Olympics. There actually really is one for grandmas. In fact, in the villages, I think we have a lady, they call her Tiny, and she is probably like 4'6", and she just won the shot put. And she's like, I mean, I think she might be close to 90.
Did you say the shot foot?
A shot put, yeah, like where she has a disc in her hand, and you like twirl around, and then you let go of the disc, and it flies, and it goes a certain
shot foot.
Oh, what did I say it was?
I'm making sure that's what you're saying because it sounds like a game that you're saying. I shot myself in the foot. Look at that.
No, a shot put. Like I think that's what it's called. Anyway,
Shot put.
I hope it is, but the other one would be funnier.
shot the foot. For me, probably. I'm going to go back to my golf.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm sitting here with my Masters shirt on, because Masters is this weekend.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
What is something you're doing now that you never imagined doing?
Living in Florida.
That was a
Never
quick
thought
answer.
I'd live in Florida. Never thought I'd live in Florida. Never thought I'd live in a house that had a beautiful pool, that I'm outside 90% of the time in the pool or in the spa or laying in the sun, doing all the things I'm not supposed to do. But living in Florida is probably the biggest answer. I mean, as far as being in the sun because of previous skin cancer.
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
I know when
Like-
she told me she was moving to Florida, I'm like, Mom.
That's why I was like, oh, wait, hold on a second. What?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm going to clarify.
I just want to just add that she might not even have liked Florida if it wasn't for her daughter. She's going to wonder why, because I remember they bought the timeshare at the lake at Port Elsewhere. And in order to, when they got it, they were given us vacation.
Bonus weeks, right?
Yeah. And it was around my birthday. Where do you want to go? I'm like, Disney World and SeaWorld. Get me out of this dang state. And
Missouri.
we had stopped on the way down in Georgia. Do you remember this, Mom? We were at the Soul Hotel, and they have this door because they have a divider between the sink and the toilet room. Let's describe that. And it sounds so funny.
The restroom?
But the door, no, it was just like where the sink is in the room of a hotel.
Oh, like it's separate.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Yeah, so they have this curtain there, but there was a door for the bathroom, and I didn't know that my stepbrother had left it open. And when I walked over there, I literally slid my foot underneath that door. I mean, to the point where the entire vacation, Mom will tell you,
Your toe.
no, my entire foot
Yeah, I
was
remember
swollen.
something about that.
I walked around
God.
Disney World and SeaWorld in so much agony, but I was like, I don't care. I need to go. So I did.
Oh my god.
Right, 'cause
Uh-huh.
it was your dream. You weren't going to let a foot stop you. I heard foot.
Nope. Because I wanted to go. Because what did I love?
Oh.
What was my fascination and still
Shamu.
is many years
Roller
later?
coasters?
No, Shamu.
Oh,
Orca.
I was
Mother.
thinking Disney World. I was thinking
Oh.
Disney World. I
was
was
like,
thinking SeaWorld.
Mom, come on. Disney World was great, but I'd never do it again. You pay to walk around and
Yeah.
ride a couple rides.
Yeah.
It's just too much money.
Although I still remember taking Lexi and having her see Beauty Sleeper.
Beauty sleeper.
I would still happily go to Disney World though, just to see like all the characters.
Well, you got to do that on your
The fact
fourth
that they
birthday.
had-
They were all waving. I've got
Yeah.
tons of pictures and video.
Well, the fact that they had to like stay in cages, I feel like it would just be fun to talk to them.
Yeah. All right. We got to move on so we can wrap this up because she's got that golf game.
Have a tea time.
All right, let's see. What is one thing you're doing now that's more rebellious than anything you did in your 20s?
Not a darn thing.
I know my mother. That's why I
I
left.
guess the only thing that I think of rebellious was when I announced that I was moving to Florida. Because nobody in our family ever moves away. Everybody stays
Yeah.
in a very close radius to each other.
I know
And
some. Oh, okay.
yeah, it's okay. And I think that was like a major sign of rebellion was I am moving to Florida and nobody can stop me because I'm this old and I'm on my own and paying my own way.
I think I was the first one to actually move away when I moved to Hannibal for a while.
Oh, that's
Well,
so
5
bad.
years.
Or-
And then Stacy was the second one who decided she was just going to leave everybody.
yeah,
Like, I'm getting away.
I know someday I'm getting out of the state. It's just so boring. I need to be somewhere that's more
Yeah, she's gonna take it all the way, Mom. She's going out of the country.
I just might at this point in time.
Okay. 2 more and we're done.
I'm going to go for one more.
One more, fine. Let me make it good then.
Okay. It must be really good.
I'm trying to decide between 2. I think I'm going to go with this one. And you can't use your pass because it's the last question.
Sorry. I was just going to say I can ask you in a minute.
Nope. If your life right now were a movie, what would be the title and the tagline as well as the leading actress?
I know who's the leading actress.
I do
know
too.
The leading actress will be too.
I do
You
too.
both know who I'm going to say.
Goldie Hawn.
Yep.
she looks like Goldie Hawn. Very similar.
Well, I don't look like Goldie Hawn, but there's certain features that I have that remind people of Goldie Hawn.
Yes.
So people have said, oh my God, you look so much like Goldie Hawn. And I'm like, really? And they go, yeah. And one guy who was this obnoxious friend in St. Louis used to call me Heavy Goldie Hawn.
Oh my!
Oh,
That's just because Goldie Hawn is too
You
petite,
remind me of
dude.
a Heavy Goldie Hawn. I'm like, great.
Thanks. You're a heavy butt.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh, a heavy.
oh.
He's a heavy Bob.
Yeah.
You know what they
Yeah,
call
he
him?
actually was. So the byline, the title would probably be Sweet Endings.
Sweet endings.
Sweet Endings, yeah.
What would be your tagline?
I don't know. I don't know the story of. I don't know. That's a hard one. A byline.
How about
Yeah.
golf cars, and alligators. Is that good?
You have to do it, and dancing and music and laughing and parties and. I mean, we had a 70.
Congo
Let me
lines.
just tell you this funny little story. At my birthday party last month, I had candy from the 1955s, nostalgic candy. I had candy necklaces and candy cigarettes and those big red wax lips and those little bottles of
Ugh.
little wax bottles that were filled with the little Kool-Aid-y stuff.
Yeah.
Drink the Kool-Aid and then eat the wax bottles. That
They
kind
were
of stuff.
so
The
gross.
pills, the strips
Those
of
are good.
candy pills. So I had all this candy. Well, there's this one lady who put on those big red wax lips and just walked around all night with them. It was hysterical. So yesterday was her 75th birthday, and we hosted a party for her at our house, and I ordered a box of those big red lips. And when she walked in, all of us had big red lips on.
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny.
Now tell me, how did you yell happy birthday like that? Happy birthday!
Well, we did it. We had 30 people here, and I had 24 sets of wax lips. So 6 people didn't have them. I said, "You guys yell surprise and happy birthday." Well, she sees us, and she was hysterical. I mean, she thought that was the funniest thing she'd ever seen. Was all of us sitting there with these huge red lips on. So we have fun here. It's like a little family down here of our own because we've all left our families and migrated south, and so we just have a lot of fun.
Re-examine what you just said. We have fun here. We all left our families. And hey, fam, if you're listening to this, now you know. I'm not editing that one out. You're busted. Okay, we're going to be done because you've got a tea time. So, was it so bad?
It wasn't so bad.
See there.
I guess I'll tell you how bad it was when I hear it.
Well, you can hear it when all your friends do too. I'm going to tag you.
Would you go as far as to say that you had fun?
Sure.
Hey, look at
That
that.
sounded fake.
Did you have fun asking me those questions? And I'm sure that there were some you really wanted to ask me that you were afraid to, so that's a good thing.
You think there were questions I was afraid to ask?
No, Lexi.
Oh,
No, I wasn't afraid to ask anything.
I'm like-
I was asking you questions.
I know you know me better than that. I'm not afraid to ask anything. And Mom, I hate to break it to you, but she's just like me, but worse. Good luck.
Of course. All right, kids. I'm off to the golf course.
All right. Thanks, Mom. Have a good time.
Love you.
Later.
Later. I don't know what she just said, but Lexi's her favorite child. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Until then, I'm out of here.
Bye.
Boo. Lexi's also the spaciest.
Yeah,
You heard it here first. What's up? We're out of here. Bye.
Bye.